There is a voice inside your head. You know the one. It shows up every single time you try to do something that matters. Every time you try to start something new, chase something big, or become someone better. And it says the same things, over and over again. You're not good enough. You're not smart enough. You're not ready. Who do you think you are to want more than this? That voice has been with you for years, maybe your whole life. And today, we are going to talk about exactly where it comes from, why it lies to you every single day, and most importantly, the exact steps you can take to silence it forever. Because that voice is not the truth. It never was. And once you understand that, everything changes. To silence the voice, you first need to understand where it comes from. Because most people think that voice is them. They think those thoughts are their own honest assessment of reality. But they are not. That voice is a collection of every negative thing you have ever been told. Every time someone said you were not enough. Every failure that left a scar. Every moment of rejection, embarrassment, or defeat that your brain stored as a warning. Your brain is designed to protect you, and it learned, very early on, that trying new things can lead to pain. So it created that voice as a defense mechanism, a way to stop you from taking risks that might lead to failure, judgment, or humiliation. The problem is that your brain cannot tell the difference between real danger and the discomfort of growth. To your brain, starting a business feels exactly as dangerous as walking into traffic. It triggers the same alarm system, the same voice, the same fear. So when you hear that voice say you cannot do it, understand this. It is not wisdom. It is not truth. It is your brain trying to keep you safe inside a box that is slowly suffocating you. The first step to silencing it is simply this. Stop treating it as fact. Start treating it as a frightened child who needs to be heard but not obeyed. Now let us talk about the specific lies that voice tells you, because once you can name them, they lose their power. The first lie is this. You're not ready. The voice tells you that you need more time, more knowledge, more experience, more resources before you can start. But here is the truth. Nobody who ever achieved anything great felt ready before they started. Richard Branson did not feel ready when he started Virgin Records at 20 years old. Mark Zuckerberg did not feel ready when he launched Facebook from his college dorm room. Readiness is a myth. It is a moving target that your brain invents to keep you stuck. The only way to feel ready is to start before you're ready. The second lie is this. Other people will judge you. The voice tells you that if you fail publicly, people will laugh. They will talk. They will think less of you. But here is what research actually shows. People are so consumed with their own insecurities and problems that they are barely paying attention to you. The judgment you fear exists almost entirely in your own mind. And even when people do judge, it lasts for days, not years. Your life, however, will be shaped for decades by the decisions you make right now. The third lie is the most dangerous one. You have already tried, and it did not work. The voice uses your past failures as evidence that future attempts are pointless. But failure is not evidence that you cannot succeed. Failure is evidence that you tried. And every person who has ever built something extraordinary failed many times before they made it. The difference between those who made it and those who did not is not talent or luck. It is simply that they refused to let past failure become their permanent identity. So, how do you actually silence it? Here are 5 techniques that work. The first technique is called name and separate. When the voice shows up, do not fight it. Simply name it. Say out loud or in your head, "There is that voice again." By naming it, you create distance between you and the thought. You realize the voice is not you. It is just a thought passing through. A thought you do not have to believe or obey. The second technique is evidence collection. Every time the voice says you cannot do something, pull out an imaginary court case. Ask yourself, what is the actual evidence that I cannot do this? Most of the time, the evidence is 0. The voice is making a claim with absolutely no proof. And when you force it to prove itself, it collapses. The third technique is the 5-second rule, made famous by Mel Robbins. The moment you feel the urge to act and feel the voice trying to stop you, count backwards. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and move. Physically move your body toward the action before your brain has time to talk you out of it. This interrupts the pattern. It bypasses the voice entirely. The fourth technique is repetition of identity. Instead of fighting the negative voice, replace it with a new one. Every single morning, before you look at your phone, before you speak to anyone, say these words out loud. I am someone who does hard things. I am someone who shows up even when it is difficult. I am someone who does not quit. Say it until you believe it. Because your brain will eventually accept whatever you repeat most often. The fifth and most powerful technique is action despite fear. You do not silence the voice by waiting for it to disappear. You silence it by acting while it is still talking. Every time you do something despite the fear, every time you take the step while the voice is screaming no, you weaken it a little more. Over time, with consistent action, the voice gets quieter. Not because it disappears, but because you stop giving it the power to stop you. I want you to imagine something for a moment. Imagine a version of you that silenced that voice completely. Not a version that never hears it, because the voice never fully goes away. But a version of you that hears it, acknowledges it, and moves forward anyway. What does that person's life look like? What have they built? What have they experienced? What kind of relationships do they have? What does it feel like to wake up in the morning knowing that fear no longer controls your decisions? That version of you is not a fantasy. It is not reserved for special people or lucky people or people who were born with more confidence. It is you. After months and years of choosing action over fear, movement over paralysis, courage over comfort. Every single great person you have ever admired was once standing exactly where you are standing right now, hearing the same voice, feeling the same doubt, facing the same choice. The only difference is that they made a decision that the voice would no longer be the loudest thing in the room, that their dreams would be louder than their doubts, that their desire for the life they wanted would overpower the fear of failing to get it. That decision is available to you right now, today, in this moment. The voice that says you cannot is lying. It has always been lying. And now you know exactly where it comes from, exactly what it says, and exactly how to fight back. You are not your doubts. You are not your fears. You are not the voice inside your head that tells you to stay small and stay safe. You are the person who heard all of that and chose to rise anyway. Start today, not tomorrow, not Monday, today. Silence the voice with action. One step, one decision, One moment of courage that changes everything. Rise daily, every single day. If this video spoke to you, subscribe. Because tomorrow, we rise again.